Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Dear learners, I am Dr. Renuka Mainde, Corporate Nutritionist, Academic Counselor in IGNOU for their MSc DFSM course. Learners, the learning objectives of present module are: explain the different types of fish, classify fish based on habitat, outline the origin of aquaculture, explain aquaculture, highlight various forms and methods of aquaculture, enumerate the composition of fish. Let's begin, learners. Fisheries sectors plays an important role in the food security of India. It supplies valuable animal protein to people of India. Fishing has been an ancient traditional employment to coastal people, and fish trade brought India nearer to Western world years ago. India has a vast coastal line and inland water bodies in the home for a variety of fish species. The fish production potential of our country is over 9 million metric tons, and the present fish as a food production is over 6.4 million metric tons. India has approximate coastline of 5100 km. Over 200 edible fish varieties are known to be commercially important. Marine type of fish are sardines, mackerel, tuna, catfish, brown duck, ribbon fish, prawns and cuttle. Freshwater fish are carps, katla, rohu, murrel and hilsa. Fish contains complete protein and can be an alternative for meat in the diet. But unfortunately, fish consumption per capita is far lower than that of meat. India is the third largest fish producing country and second largest aquaculture fish producer in the world. India contributes about 7% to the global fish production. The country is also home to more than 10% of the global fish biodiversity and one of the 17 mega biodiversity rich countries. Around 14 million people are engaged in fisheries and its allied activities. Andhra Pradesh is the largest fish producer in the country, followed by West Bengal and Gujarat. The total fish production during 2017-18 is estimated to be 12.60 million metric tons, of which nearly 70% from inland sector and about 50% of the total production is from culture fisheries. More than 50 different types of fish and shellfish products are being exported to 75 countries around the world. Fish and fish products have been presently emerged as the largest group in agricultural export from India with 13.77 lakh tons in terms of quantity. Fisheries. A fish is a type of animal that has backbone, lives in the water and has fins. Most of the fish have scales covering their bodies. Most fish breathe with gills. Fish nearly belong to a very large group. Nearly half of all vertebrates, animals with backbones, are fish. Many types of aquatic animals, commonly referred to as fish, include shellfish, cuttlefish, starfish, crayfish, and jellyfish. In fisheries, term fish is used as a collective term and include mollusk, crustaceans, and other aquatic animals. The strict biological definition of a fish above is sometimes called a true fish. True fish is also referred to as finfish to distinguish them from other aquatic life harvested in fisheries or aquaculture. Fisheries is an economic activity that involves harvesting fish or any aquatic organism from the wild or raising them in confinement. It may be traditional small scale fisheries for sustenance or large scale or commercial fisheries for profit. Fish in general is cold-blooded aquatic organism that breathes with gills and swims with fins. They are categorized as finfish and shellfish. Finfish are cold-blooded aquatic vertebrates that have gills, fins with rays and scales covering the body. Shellfish are cold-blooded aquatic invertebrates that have gills, various types of locomotory organs, and shell exoskeleton covering the body. They may include crustaceans and mollusks. Let us understand classification of fish, categorization of fish by their habitat. Freshwater fish, fish that spends most or all of their life in fresh water such as rivers, lakes having salinity of less than 0.5 parts per thousand. 40% of all known species of fish are found in fresh water. They may be divided into cold water fish, example trout, warm water fish. The temperature ranges is 25 to 35 degree centigrade. Example is carps, catfish, snakehead, featherbacks, etc. Brackish water fish. Brackish water fish that can tolerate a wide range of salinity between 0.5 to 30 parts per thousand and live in backwaters and coastal waters. Example, mullet, milkfish, sea bass, pearl spot, mudskipper, etc. Marine fish. Marine fish, fish that spend most or all of their life in sea water such as sea, ocean having salinity above 30 parts per thousand. There are about 240 species contributing to the marine fisheries. Example, sardines, mackerel, ribbonfish, grouper, cobia, tuna, etc. Common edible fish in India. Ravas, it is also called as Indian salmon. Ravas is one of the most loved and popular edible fish. Ravas is widely available in India and is famous for its pink to orange meat with a mild flavor. It is specially an oily fish, which means it consists of oil almost all over its body. Salmon fillet, which is a boneless piece of fish, is said to have around 30% of the oil. The oil is though a great for your health, containing omega-3 fatty acid, vitamin A and vitamin D. Katla, Indian carp or Bengal carp. Katla is a freshwater fish and is majorly found in the lakes and rivers of Assam and North India. A fully grown fish can weigh up to 2 kg. It is a very widely consumed fish. The fish is a rich source of essential fatty acids and protein. Katla contains a pretty good ratio of omega 6 to omega 3, which is zero point 0.7. The mercury level in this fish is moderate, which is safe enough to eat. Rohu or carpo fish. Rohu is a freshwater fish and is a member of carp family. The fish is majorly available in northern as well as central India. The fish averagely weighs up to 2 kg and is mostly consumed for its meat. It is again rich in omega fatty acids. Bangda, Indian mackerel. Indian mackerel, or popularly known as Bangda, belongs to the list of staple fish of India. It is a saltwater fish found in the Indian Oceans and the sea around. The fish is oily and therefore is a good source of protein and omega 3 fatty acids. Rani or pink perch. Rani is a very common freshwater fish in India. The fish is pink in color, small in size, and with mild flavor. The fish is called as lean fish since it has only 5% of body fat. Surmai or kingfish. This fish is extremely popular as well as expensive one. It is the most popular in South and Central India. Surmai, known as mackerel, and is rich in proteins, omega 3 fatty acids, and other vitamins. Pomfret. Pomfret is an exotic fish that is extremely enjoyed in India. It falls under the category of butterfish, vastly found in South Asia, including Indian Ocean. The fish is not an oily one and has white meat which is highly delicious. Silver, white, and black pomfret are popular in India. Hilsa, national fish of Bangladesh. Hilsa is a very popular fish in Odisha, West Bengal, Assam, Andhra Pradesh. It contains a high ratio of omega 6 to omega 3, which is 0 is to 1. This delicious fish has tender meat. Now let us understand aquaculture. Origin of aquaculture. Aquaculture is said to have a history of about 4,000 years. Culture of fish in freshwater ponds is the earliest form of aquaculture. The practice took its root in China, perhaps in an effort of fulfilling the desire of an emperor to have fish in his daily menu. It is speculated that techniques for keeping fish in ponds originated in China with a fisherman who kept their surplus catch alive temporarily on basket submerged in rivers or small bodies of water. Another possibility is that aquaculture developed from ancient practices for trapping fish, with the operation steadily improving from trapping, holding, growing, and finally into complete husbandry practices. FAO defines aquaculture as the farming of aquatic organisms including fish, mollusks, crustaceans, and aquatic plants. Aquaculture is conducted in all three types of aquatic environment, that is freshwater, brackish water, and seawater. Freshwater aquaculture is carried out either in fish ponds, fish pens, or fish cages. Brackish water aquaculture is done mainly in fish ponds located in coastal area. Marine culture employs either fish cages or substrate for mollusk, seaweed such as stakes, ropes and raft. Aquaculture include not only fish culture but cultivation of other animals and plants. Aquaculture has immense scope for the betterment of mankind. Fish provides protein-rich diet as fish are possessed with essential amino acids. Aquaculture provides employment and is a source of earning foreign exchange. Species for aquaculture. Compared to land animals, aquaculture is much more varied activity, mainly because there are many more species of aquatic organism, each with different characteristics for culture in freshwater, brackish water and marine environment using different methods. There are about 500 aquatic species which are subjects of aquaculture today. This include 314 species of finfishes, 74 crustaceans, 69 mollusks, 3 rotifers, 2 annelids, E. echinoderm, 43 algae, 12 sponges, 9 amphibian, 4 reptiles and 2 mammals. Methods of aquaculture. Aquaculture is practiced through various methods. Culture of fishes in ponds is the oldest form of aquaculture. There are 3 ways in which pond aquaculture is conducted. Aquaculture in still water ponds, aquaculture in running water ponds, and aquaculture in ponds having recirculating water. Let us see the classification of aquaculture methods. Aquaculture practices progress from minimal to maximal inputs of external energy, ecosystem manipulation and management. Accordingly, depending on the intensity of operation, aquaculture practice are classified into 3 operational scales. Example, extensive aquaculture, semi-intensive aquaculture and intensive aquaculture. Let us see first extensive aquaculture. Extensive aquaculture involves a low degree of control over environment, nutrition, predator, etc. Water change is effected through tidal means. New water is let in only during high tide and pond can be drained only at low tide. Although a large size ponds are used, but little care is taken with regards to its improvement. Natural food organisms often generated within the culture unit itself sustain the system. The yield under this system is modest, hardly more than the natural production. Intensive aquaculture. Intensive culture uses very high density of culture organism. Intensive aquaculture, on the other hand, involves high degree of control over the system and high initial cost, a high level of technology and high production levels. Small pond compartment of up to 1 hectare in size are used. Intensive aquaculture, there is a maximum output of product in a minimum of space and water. Virtually all nutrition for cultured organism comes from the use of high quality nutritionally balanced feed. Water quality monitoring, water replacement and aeration is done on daily basis by the use of pumps and aerators. Semi-intensive aquaculture. Semi-intensive aquaculture is a mix of the extensive and intensive aquaculture. Stocking rates are moderately used under this system. Semi-intensive and intensive culture systems are more labor intensive and are costlier to set up and operate. Semi-intensive aquaculture also carry higher risk of mortalities from disease and poor management. Production and hence financial returns are much more attractive than those from extensive culture. Various cultures in practice. Culture systems range from extensive to intensive depending on the stocking density of the culture organism, the level of inputs, and the degree of management. Aquaculture practices are oriented towards production for domestic consumption due to lack of access to large water bodies or over exploitation of marine or inland fisheries. Pond culture. Pond culture is breeding and rearing of fish in natural or artificial basins. It is the earliest form of aquaculture with its origin dating back to 14th to 17th century. Pond culture is carried out mostly using stagnant water but can also be used in running water, especially in highland sites with flowing water. Running water fish culture involves growing the fingerlings to marketable size in earthen ponds using water from rivers, irrigation canals, or plain rainwater. Pen and cage culture. In general, both pen and cage culture have expanded rapidly, especially over the past 2 decades. The decreasing availability of land based resources for fish culture and increasing awareness of their merits over traditional pond culture. Continuously flowing water is advantageous for fish culture as it supplies abundant dissolved oxygen. Pen culture and cage culture. Pen and cage culture involve the rearing of fish within fixed or floating net enclosures supported by frameworks made of bamboo, wood, metal, and set in sheltered shallow portions of lakes and rivers. The wider popularity of cage culture as compared to pen culture may be due to its greater flexibility in terms of setting the structures. Pen culture and cage culture. Cages may be installed in bays, lagoons, straits, and open coast as long as they are protected from strong monsoonal winds and rough sea. Floating cages can also be set up in deep lakes and reservoirs and in rivers and canal systems and even in deep mining pools which could not be used otherwise for culture due to harvesting difficulties. Learners, now let us understand composition of fish. Fish is the richest source of almost all important nutrients. Composition of different species of fish differs. Fish exhibits seasonal variation in their chemical composition. Composition also depends on seasonal changes, feeding habit, temperature of the environment, and state of laying eggs. Fish protein. Fish protein are highly balanced with all essential amino acids. They are also easily digestible. There are three types of protein found in fish muscle. Sarcoplasmic proteins. They are water soluble and most enzymes are made up of sarcoplasmic proteins. Their content varies from 20 to 30%. Myofibril or contractile protein. Example, muscle fibers. Stroma or connective tissue proteins. Their percentage varies from 1 to 3%. Fish has low stroma proteins. Stroma proteins are difficult to digest and insoluble in water and ionic solution. Because of low stroma protein content, fish protein are easily digestible. Fish fat. Fish stores fat in two forms which are as follows. Body oil, example sardines, mackerel. Liver oil, example shark, cod. During active feeding seasons, the body fat of fish like sardines may go up to 13 to 14% of their body weight. Shark liver is full of oil and the oil content of liver may come to 70% of the liver by weight. Shark liver oil may contain up to 3 to 4 lakh international units of vitamin A per gram of oil. Lipids in fish. The lipid content in fish ranges from 0.2 to 25%, bearing a few exceptional cases. The lipids in fish can be of two types: structural lipids, which are mainly phospholipids, and storage lipids, which are triglycerides. The level of lipids in fish varies widely, not only among different species but also within same species, depending on the season, feeding grounds, water salinity and other factors. Based on the amount of fat, fish can be classified as lean fish, which has less than 2% of fat, medium fatty fish, which has fat 2 to 6%, fatty fish, which has fat more than 6%. Essential fatty acids in fish. The essential fatty acids in fish are: EPA is helpful in reducing atherosclerosis or blockages of arteries due to deposition of saturated fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids lower blood cholesterol by reducing low density lipoprotein concentration. Omega-3 fatty acids also appear to lower the plasma triglycerides, in particular very low density lipoprotein. Another PUFA, DHA, has been reported to increase brain function in mice and is believed to be playing the same role in humans. Carbohydrates in fish. Fish is a very poor source of carbohydrates. Fish stores carbohydrate as glycogen. Normally, a live fish contains glycogen in level varying from 0.1 to 1%. Mollusks have high glycogen content up to 7%. Glycogen is a source of energy. Water content in fish. Water is a major component of all species of fish. Water content may vary from 70 to 80% normally. Water content exhibits seasonal variation. When fat content increases in muscles, there is a fall in moisture content. Vitamins and minerals in fish. Most of the well-known nutritionally important elements are present in fish muscle. About 20 such minerals are identified nutritionally important for man and animals. Fish is also a rich source of vitamin A, vitamin D, phosphorus, magnesium, selenium, and iodine in marine fish. Fish liver contains highest percentage of vitamin A and D. Flesh of salmon fish contains high amount of vitamin B5. Marine fish contains iodine and fluorine. Let us understand application of heat. Fish has no connective tissue or elastin, hence it is easy to cook in less time. As fish cook, proteins in the muscle fibers coagulate and the flesh changes from translucent to opaque in appearance. When the collagen softens in heat, it loses its structure and turns to gelatin. The muscle fiber have little to hold them together and fish separates easily into flakes. The processes of fibers coagulating and collagen softening happen almost simultaneously and at lower temperature than with beef. So it's easy to understand why fish is easily overdone. Fish is usually boiled, baked, grilled or steamed. Let us understand characteristics of fresh fish. Fish that are fresh can be easily identified by noting the following qualities. The skin looks bright, moist and shiny. The scale should be firmly attached to the skin. The skin on stale fish may show signs of wrinkling and shrinking away from the flesh. The eyes of a freshly caught fish will be convex, the pupil black and the cornea translucent. The eyes should be bright, clear and bulging and not shrunken. The gills of freshly caught fish are bright red, but as the blood in them oxidizes, they rapidly turn brownish and any mucus on them turns opaque. Characteristics of fresh fish. If fish is split along the backbone and lifted, the bone should stick firmly to the flesh. If the bone separates easily, fish is stale. The surface should be free of dirt and slime. The flesh should be firm to touch with no traces of browning or drying around the edges. A fish having odor indicates deterioration due to oxidation of polyunsaturated fat and bacterial growth. Rancidity is revealed by yellowish spot on the surface. Rancidity can be recognized by SAR test, uncharacteristics of fresh fish. Let us understand spoilage of fish. It refers to the contamination of fish resulting in an undesirable change in the color, texture, flavor, odor, appearance, etc. Spoilage of fish is also called as putrefaction. Fish spoilage can occur due to enzymatic degradation, bacterial degradation, chemical decomposition, and mechanical damage. Spoiled fish can be characterized by observing color change, fishy smell, sliminess in the skin and scales, firmness of the flesh, discoloration of the backbone, etc. Microbial spoilage of fish. Fish is highly perishable food. The spoilage of fish is due to three causes: microbial, physiological, and biochemical. Let us understand microbial spoilage of fish. While live fish is bacteriologically sterile, there are large number of bacteria on the surface and digestive tracts of living fish. When fish is killed, this bacteria multiply rapidly and attack all tissues. The bacteria live on the cold-blooded fish at rather low ocean temperatures and are adapted to cold and continue to grow even under refrigerator conditions. Growth of microorganisms and enzymes affects the quality of fish. The microbial load and types of microorganisms associated with the freshly harvested fish directly reflects on the microflora of the immediate environment from which fish is harvested. Several microorganisms are added to fish from harvesting gear and net from the boat deck, fish contact surface, fish holes, and fishermen. Microbial spoilage of fish. Once the fish dies, microorganisms present on the body surface, gills, and the intestine starts multiplying and increase in number of causing deteriorative changes in fish. As the time lapses, the spoilage proceeds faster, making the fish unfit for human consumption. The spoiling fish is generally characterized by the loss of bright body coloration, fading of gill color, shrunken eyes, and development of off-odor metabolites of spoilage bacteria. The spoilage flora of fresh fish is generally dominated by the gram-negative bacteria. The effective way to prevent or delay the spoilage of fresh fish is by reducing the activity of spoilage microorganisms, which can be achieved by lowering the temperature of holding the harvested fish. Let us understand physiological spoilage of fish. Fish struggle when caught, and hence all the glycogen stores in the muscle and liver are used up. There is no glycogen left for being converted into lactic acid, which helps to increase the pH of the tissue and retard the multiplication of microorganisms. Let us understand biochemical spoilage. The important biochemical change leading to development of the characteristics fishy of odor is due to production of trimethylamine by the action of bacterial enzymes on phospholipids and choline present in fish. The fat present in fish are highly unsaturated. By the action of bacterial lipase and lipooxidases, free fatty acids are produced and the fat undergoes oxidative rancidity. This results in additional oxidized and rancid off odor and off flavors. Thiobarbituric acid number. Oxidative rancidity is frequently expressed in terms of TBA, the number or milligram of melanoaldehyde per kilogram of material, or micromoles of melanoaldehyde per 1 gram of fat extract from sample. Fish develop rancid smell when TBA number is above 1 to 2 micromoles per gram of oil. Trimethylamine oxide reductase. During fish spoilage, this compound is reduced to trimethylamine, a volatile base responsible for the fishy smell. TMAO is reduced partly by intrinsic and mainly by bacterial enzymes of the group reductase. Gradual reduction of TMAO causing increase in concentration of TMA, that is trimethylamine. Only marine fish contains TMAO, that is trimethylamine oxide. For a good quality fish, A TMA nitrogen level of 1.25 to 2 mg per 100 gram fish is recommended. A TMA nitrogen 10 to 15 mg per 100 gram fish can be considered a safety limit beyond which most chill fish become spoiled. Let's conclude, learners. Fishery sectors plays an important role in food security of India. It supplies valuable animal protein to the people of India. Fishing has been an ancient tradition, employment to coastal people, and fish trade brought India nearer to Western world years ago. Over 200 edible fish varieties are known to be commercially important. Marine types of fish are sardines, mackerel, tuna, catfish, brown duck, ribbonfish, prawns, and cuttle. Freshwater fish are carps, katla, rohu, murrel, and hilsa. Fish are classified as freshwater fish, brackish water fish, and marine fish. Aquaculture is said to have a history of about 4,000 years. Culture of fishes in freshwater ponds is the earliest form of aquaculture. Aquaculture include not only fish culture but cultivation of other animals and plants. Aquaculture has immense scope for the betterment of mankind. Fish protein are highly balanced with all essential amino acids. They are also easily digestible. There are three types of proteins found in fish muscles. Fish store fat in two forms, which are body oil, example sardines and mackerel; liver oil, example shark, cod. Fish is a poor source of carbohydrate. Fish spoilage is refers to contamination of fish resulting in an undesirable change in the color, texture, flavor, odor, and appearance. Spoilage of fish is also called as putrefaction. Fish spoilage can occur due to enzymatic degradation, bacterial degradation, chemical decomposition, and mechanical damage. Thank you, dear learners.